talking about a home. Talking about me and you. Things we'll do. I said a home. Not talking about a one-night stand. I wanna be your man. I said a home.
From the people who bring you Charleston Home and Design Magazine, the Charleston Home and Design Show, the Custom Home and Remodel Show, and Charleston's online home show, newhomecharleston.com, this is Talking About a Home. Talking About a Home is a home show on the radio, featuring interviews with local experts, home tips, trends, and ideas you need to know to make your home better. I'm Michael Blaze with 5 Star Real Estate, and this is Talking About a Home.
Good afternoon. I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. In addition to our radio show Talking About a Home, we also publish Charleston Home and Design Magazine. We also organize 3 custom home shows: the Charleston Home and Design Show, which takes place every January, Charleston's only open-air home show, which takes place every April at Family Circle Stadium on Daniel Island, and the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo, which is coming up next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And today's radio show is coming to you from Outdoor Concepts of Charleston, and they're one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show coming up next weekend. And you'll be hearing from Chris Hicks, along with several other interviews from vendors that will be involved with the Custom Home and Remodel Show next weekend. Well, have a great weekend, and make sure to come out to the Custom Home and Remodel Show next weekend at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. Today's radio show is coming to you from the brand new showroom that'll be opening up soon for Outdoor Concepts of Charleston. And Outdoor Concepts of Charleston is one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo, which is coming up next weekend, August 16th through the 18th, at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And if you've been listening to Talking About a home show on the radio over the last few weeks, we have been visiting all of the different sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show, and want to thank them all: Energy One America, Advanced Window Fashions, Amerisips Homes, Melser Tile, 84 Lumber, Real Deal Countertops, and now Outdoor Concepts of Charleston. And now we're talking to the owner of Outdoor Concepts of Charleston, Chris Hicks. How you doing, Chris?
Good. How are you, Tim?
Good. Chris, tell everybody about Outdoor Concepts of Charleston.
Outdoor Concepts of Charleston is a 2-year-old company that was previously ran by the Renovators, and we have branched off into an outdoor living division.
Okay.
So now we're opening up a new display area, 463 Long Point Road, and by next spring, a indoor showroom as well.
Okay, good deal. Now, so Outdoor Concepts of Charleston is kind of the sister company of your other company, the Renovators, right?
That's correct.
And just take a moment and tell everybody about the Renovators.
The Renovators is a full design and build renovations company here in Charleston. We're based in Mount Pleasant as well. We've been operating here for about 5 years now, been in business for about 13. We do everything from historic renovations downtown to renovations on the Isle of Palms, Sullivan's Island, Kiowa, Seabrook.
Mm-hmm. Was it demand from your customers that kind of led you to start Outdoor Concepts of Charleston? Were you being asked to do more outdoor spaces because outdoor living is so popular here in the Charleston area?
Yeah, about 3 years ago, we experienced a lot of customers asking us if we knew somebody that would build an outdoor fireplace, an outdoor kitchen, resurface their pool deck, do an outdoor pergola, a trellis, things of that nature. So as time went on and we started closing more jobs, we went ahead and hired our own people and got in the business.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that makes sense. And when you own your own business, things are constantly changing, and if you don't keep up with customer demand, you're going to fall behind. And so I take my hat off to you for listening to your customers and responding. And so kind of describe what people will see when the new Outdoor Concepts of Charleston showroom opens up here at 463 Long Point Road in Mount Pleasant?
First, which will be in the first week of September, they're going to see a complete display yard built out front on Long Point Road in front of our building. And that's going to consist of 2 fireplaces, one with a built-in pizza oven.
These are outdoor fireplaces?
These are outdoor fireplaces. There's going to be different styles of paver patios, travertine decks. We're going to have Atkinson pools that has going to be installing a display pool for us. So we'll have a full, complete white-based cement pool deck and travertine pool deck on top for people to look at. We'll have an outdoor kitchen out there as well with its own separate oyster burner. So we've developed, I guess it's a power burner that's enclosed by brick for the low country for oyster season.
Wow, that's interesting. So, so homeowners could come to Outdoor Concepts of Charleston and ask you to build an oyster burner, integrate that into their backyard, and they could hold their own oyster roast at home.
Absolutely.
Great.
And it's all going to be a complete design build. So whatever their thoughts are, we'll have our designer draw that out for them, and then we'll build it on site.
I gotcha. So what types of projects has Outdoor Concepts of Charleston been working on?
Here currently we have a complete pool renovation where we're redoing the complete pool deck, a fireplace, outdoor kitchen. We also incorporated a green egg inside that outdoor kitchen. So that was pretty unique. The one that we finished up at the end of last year was a complete bluestone project where we custom cut and built the countertops on job site. So we've currently just purchased a machine so that we could do all of our own shaping on job site now with a water jet machine for all of our copings.
Gotcha. So the pool deck that you replaced, what was the reason that the homeowners wanted the original pool deck replaced?
They built a house about 15 years ago and just needed a complete uplift of their backyard, and they're getting ready to retire. So this is a lot of people in the Low Country now are starting to live outdoors. So instead of moving and selling their home, we see a lot of people renovating their backyard.
Sure. And, when it comes to outdoor living, a lot of folks have discovered that, instead of maybe putting on an addition to their house, they may love their location of their home. They may need more space in their home, and they may not be inclined to put on an addition to the house, or they may not be able to, go beyond the original footprint of the house. And so a lot of those folks are looking at their backyards, the outdoor space, to create some extra rooms. And talk about that. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been fun this last 3 years in doing that because we've developed a lot of projects that will be posted up on our new website in September as well. But we've created a lot of outdoor living where folks can go out. Some of it's heated and cooled. Some of it's not. A lot of outdoor screen porches turned into all-season rooms, sunrooms turned into screen porches. Everybody has a different idea, and we just try to design it to fit their needs and whatever their backyard program allows.
What happens if a homeowner knows they want to do something in their backyard, but they don't know how to put all the pieces of the puzzle together? How can Outdoor Concepts of Charleston help them?
That's one of the main reasons why we've developed this place at 463 Long Point Road is for people to come over and actually see the pavers and see the bluestone and see the travertine, see the fireplaces working. We will have the fireplaces actually working, and we'll be holding different events here at the location to show how the outdoor kitchen works and the oyster roast power roaster, how it works. So we want folks to come and see actually what it looks like prior to them purchasing.
And I guess what I meant was, like, if people if they don't have a complete plan for their backyard, but they say, we would like some hardscapes, and we'd like we'd like to have an outdoor kitchen, we'd like to have maybe a pergola or something, but they're worried about making that kind of an investment, and then also building structures that they don't want to have to change down the road. If they need a design, if they need help with putting all those pieces together, is that something that Outdoor Concepts of Charleston can help them with?
Absolutely. We're a full design and build company. We have 2 designers that work for us and an engineer. Everything is usually a 72-hour turnaround for us for the first conceptual package to get it into their hands so that they can see what they're actually thinking about. Mm-hmm. We'll draw it out as a hand sketch first and then turn it into a CAD design for them at a later time.
Very interesting. Well, good deal. Well, I understand that Outdoor Concepts of Charleston, you folks have done projects all over the Low Country. Is that right? Name some of the subdivisions or neighborhoods that you folks have done work in.
Johns Island, Kiowa, Seabrook, Isle of Palms. We've done a lot of projects out on Isle of Palms and Dunes West, Hamlin Plantation, historical downtown, Shadamoss Plantation. We just completed a project out at, it is in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So we're all over the Low Country. Currently we have 2 jobs going in Murrells Inlet and Hilton Head.
Gotcha. So you're not limited. You don't just do work in a certain part of town. You'll go to wherever homeowners would like to hire Outdoor Concepts of Charleston for.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with Outdoor Concepts of Charleston.
You could call us right now at 843-345-3214, and our website will be up and running in September, and that'll be, right now it is totaloutdoorconcepts.com. So that's going to be the website that's coming up in September. The phone number stays the same, 843-345-3214.
Okay, and come out and see Outdoor Concepts of Charleston at the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo coming up next weekend, August 16th, 17th, and 18th. And Friday there's free admission, and so you have no worries about even having to pay the $7 on that we charge on Saturday and Sunday. And if you do come Saturday and Sunday, get a $1 off coupon in the Post and Courier if you'd like to save a buck, and free parking, of course, surrounding the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. Well, we have been talking with Chris Hicks with Outdoor Concepts of Charleston, and many thanks to Outdoor Concepts of Charleston for being one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show, as I mentioned, coming up August 16th through the 18th next weekend at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a Home show on the radio. Today's radio show is coming to you from Outdoor Concepts of Charleston, located at 463 Long Point Road in Mount Pleasant. And Outdoor Concepts of Charleston is one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo, which is coming up next weekend, August 16th, 17th, and 18th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And now we're talking with Shep Rogers with Low Country Generators. How you doing, Shep?
Just fine. How about yourself?
Good. Shep, tell everybody about Low Country Generators.
Low Country Generators we're a company that specializes in the sales, service, repair, installation of backup generators, power sources in case of emergency or loss of power, be it commercial or residential.
Gotcha. And I just want to have you clarify this with our audience. We're not talking about the type of generators that sit in the garage and you pull out every 10 years and go to try to pull that cord and they don't start.
No, our main crest of our business is basically generators that are permanently installed, automatic transfer switches. You lose power, the transfer switch and generator works together to supply power to your house, hands off. It operates automatically, and it's just a matter of waiting 30, 40 seconds, and your power is back on.
Gotcha. So permanent standby generators that people have installed right onto their homes. And how big are these generators?
In most cases, the average one is probably say 30 inches by 36 inches, rectangle type configuration. It's not a whole lot larger than, say, an air conditioner would be.
Mm-hmm. And do people do people put them right next to their air conditioners outside?
In most cases, they do put them next to the air conditioner, and usually that is a location that people they've protected or got of sight or decorated around it, so it fits very comfortably next to an air conditioner.
So, Shep, when the power goes out, and it doesn't have to be a hurricane or a disaster necessarily, we have power outages all the time. Just when we have a heavy rain, occasionally they'll go out. So the power goes out in your home, and then tell us what happens.
Well, once you lost power, the transfer switch and generator work together, and once power is lost, in about 20 seconds, the generator will start. Once the generator starts and the transfer switch sees that the generator is up to the full capacity voltage-wise, within 20 seconds later, it'll transfer over to the house. So within 40 seconds of losing power, you have power back on your generator. And then once power comes back on, the transfer switch will sense the power that's back on, see that it's all within the criteria necessary for your house, and it's reliable, and then it'll transfer back to your normal default setting, which is your utility. The generator will run through a cool down of somewhere around 5 minutes to cool down under no load situations, and it'll go back to ready condition, and it's ready for next event.
Do you have to lug cans of gasoline out to power these things?
You have nothing. You just sit in your recliner, take 40 seconds of time in the dark, and then bam, you're back on. And it operates on its own. It normally needs maintenance throughout the year, which we do offer contracts for maintenance. But that is all you have to do. It's just
How are they powered then?
powered by natural gas or propane. You still have your diesel ones if you prefer, but in most residential and commercial settings, the LP and natural gas are the ones that you have natural gas in your house. Then that same natural gas can operate your generator.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Good deal. And you probably have to do you warn your customers that if they do buy one of these standby generators from Low Country Generators that they're probably going to be very, very popular in the aftermath of a hurricane because they're going to be the only ones in the block with power.
It's something we discuss each time that we install one. The customer who installs it can't wait to the first power outage, and his is the only house in a block with lights. Mm-hmm. And that's like they ask you how much noises it makes, and I just tell them they're usually very, very quiet. But if everybody's dark, there's no sound, no nothing, anything makes a lot of noise. So they're going to hear the generator, and they're going to see the lights, and they're going to say, why didn't I, or can I run an extension cord to your house?
All right. And, I want our listeners to kind of think about something right now. If you're driving in your car, turn off your air conditioner, roll down your windows. You know what it feels like to experience, 85, 90 degree temperatures, humidity. You're not going to have air conditioning if we get hit by a hurricane or a disaster and all the power is out. And so, this might be something you think, oh, I don't need, but when you do need air conditioning, you're really going to wish you had one of these permanent standby generators on your home.
Correct. A generator actually makes you fairly self-sufficient in emergencies. An emergency, like I said, as long as we have transformers hanging on a pole, they can be hit by lightning or go old. As long as you have poles along your highway, your utility grid, they're doing the best they can, but it's not getting any younger. So reliability becomes a question. But as long as you've got your generator, you don't have to worry about it. And the generator can be designed to, let's say you've got a very large house and you don't want to go to the expense of a very large generator. We can easily design a generator and a system that will operate just portions of your house that use it as actually what it says, emergency generator. You can then set up your kitchen, your living room, one bedroom, and that's the only thing it operates, and an air conditioner for that that area. So you can downsize the generator. What I say is if you have a need, I can design a generator that'll match your not only your pocketbook but your need, and you'll more than be happy with what you got.
Well, anybody who went through Hugo will remember. I think it took about 2 weeks to get power back in certain areas, and others didn't get power back for longer than that. And you know, you may feel like you're roughing it, and I'm using air quotes for that, by maybe everybody staying in your living room, for example, because if you're only cooling, or if you only have power supplied by this permanent standby generator from Low Country Generators, like on your first floor, for example, that's not really going to be roughing it compared to the people who are, you know, all night long with no breeze or any kind of cooling in you know, if you've got your house that's still standing, you're staying there, you're really going to say, I don't care what the cost is, I should have gotten one of these permanent standby generators from Low Country Generators.
Most definitely, to be able to, I know what Hugo is like at where I live in Somerville, and we spent 9 days without power. After first couple of days, it was just excitement, almost like camping. After that, the excitement went away, and you were ready for it to be over.
That's right. Speaking of which, what's one of these standby generators cost generally?
The system can be designed for part of a house with a transfer switch installed anywhere from the $4,000 up to however large you want to make it. But I'd say in most cases, somewhere between $4,000 and $7,000. You can install a system that will give you what you need. If not your whole house, it'll give you most of your house and everything you would need in case of a disaster or loss of power. Well,
that's great. Well, come out and see Low Country Generators at the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo next weekend. And if you come out next Friday for the Hurricane Expo, we're giving away 500 free hurricane kits to the first 500 families. And Low Country Generators, we're very grateful to you folks. You folks are part of the Hurricane Expo. You folks have donated 500 glow sticks to be part of those 500 free hurricane kits we're giving away. And so you can come out and get a free glow stick along with about 20 other items, including an Energizer LED flashlight, about a $20 flashlight, as part of this free hurricane kit. And it's free admission on Friday, next Friday, for the Hurricane Expo, and 500 free hurricane kits we're giving away. Tell everybody how they can get in touch with Low Country Generators.
We're located in North Charleston, so we are local. Whatever we sell and service or install, we are local. We can take care of it very quickly. Our telephone number is 843-696-0082, and you can just give us a call. It's my cell number, and if you have a problem, I try to get to my customers as quickly as possible. So I use my cell, and I know I always can respond to the telephone.
How about a website?
Website, you can go to www.lowcountrygenerators.com.
All right. Well, we have been talking with Shep Rogers with Low Country Generators. And as I said, come out and see Low Country Generators at the Charleston Hurricane Expo and the Custom Home and Remodel Show next weekend at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. Thanks, Shep.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Amerisips Home. Amerisips Homes, their model home is located at 3458 Acorn Drop Lane in the St. John's neighborhood of Johns Island. And now we're talking with Anita King with Ink Architecture. How you doing, Anita?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Anita, tell everybody about Ink Architecture.
We are a full-service interior and architecture firm focusing on custom residential. Most of our projects are kind of in the $800,000 range and up.
Gotcha. Where would people find homes that Inc. Architecture has designed around the Charleston area?
We have quite a few going on Daniel Island right now. That's where our office is located. We also have just finished up a couple on Sullivan's Island and Isle of Palms. We're working on a few in Mount Pleasant as well, kind of in the Rimley's Point and Rimley's Point area in Mount Pleasant near the water. So we're working on quite a few things kind of on that side of town. We're trying to reach out and get to this side of town, everywhere Amerisips is as well. So we are looking to start picking up some projects closer to Kiowa and things like that.
If someone is thinking about building a house or maybe remodeling their home, why do they need to talk to an architect or specifically to Inc. Architecture?
Well, I think with remodeling a home is very unique because you have set conditions that already exist. So you're working within the confines of an existing structure, and you really need to be able to evaluate what options you have, because it's not necessarily limitless options unless you want to spend limitless amounts of money. So having an architect come in and kind of evaluate the situation, what you'd like to do, where your budget is always a good starting point. And we've worked with quite a few clients recently on just kind of establishing what they'd like to do, what changes can be made, bringing in a structural engineer sometimes to evaluate the structure, if we're going to be tearing out walls or moving things around in that situation, and then helping you find a contractor to develop those ideas and build what we've designed. So I think it just helps in those situations a lot because you do have some confines that you're working within.
Gotcha. So that's a good reason, several good reasons to work with an architect if you're remodeling a home. What about if you're thinking of building a new home?
Well, I think really it works best to use an architect to first evaluate the site. One of the things that I see that I think is done most incorrectly is buying a set of plans that doesn't work with your site. You may have great views on one side or breezes that you want to capture or where your porch is. And if you don't take advantage of those things and you just buy a set of plans and then you have one window facing the marsh view, then you've kind of defeated the purpose of designing a custom house on that piece of land. So what we like to do is sit with the clients and get their wants and needs and evaluate the site, where your neighbors are going to be built if they aren't already built there. Some of those things to kind of evaluate what works best for you, what works best for the site, what works best for the neighborhood, and kind of make all of those dreams come true in a custom house suited just for you.
Gotcha. What about have you ever had any of your customers that have said, you know, if I hadn't been working with Inc. Architecture, I don't think I would have ever thought about this or that aspect of the home?
Well, actually, our last two clients, both of them kind of gave us a lot of free rein, and we explained everything we were doing for them. But during construction, both of them, two different projects on two different sides of town, were like, we understood to a degree what you were telling us, but it is so much better than we could have ever realized. We understood you were talking about this paneling detail or this wood detail or this beam detail, and we understood it kind of peripherally, but we didn't really understand how great it was going to look and how it needed to be right where you placed it. So that was really reassuring and great for me to hear, that they trusted me, first of all, but then secondly, it came out so much better than they could have ever imagined, and that, you know, those kind of ideas are generated from us and kind of translate through construction that maybe they would have never even thought about or understood or realized ahead of time.
That's first of all, it's very fulfilling, I'm sure, for you, but for the homeowner to, you know, be like, oh my gosh, I couldn't have imagined having a rooftop deck or something like that, an aspect of the home that you introduced to the idea of to them.
Yeah, and that's been really great. You know, our clients are really great, and we've had a lot of fun working with them, and it's just great to get to know what they like, and then how you can kind of elevate some of their wants and needs to a different level that they just didn't expect.
Anita, Inc. Architecture is a woman-owned firm. You're the principal architect.
Correct.
The architecture field, it seems like more and more women are getting into it, but in the past it was kind of dominated by men. What has that been like for you?
Well, it's been fun for me. I think one of the things that is great on the residential side is you have to remember, on the residential side, a lot of the women in the households are making the decisions. They're the ones that kind of run the households in most cases and really have a set of ideas and can really articulate their wants and needs that work for kind of all of the family members. So it works really great, I think, to be a woman architect on the custom residential side, because you can actually sit there and kind of talk through all of these ideas with them. It's a very comfortable environment. And, you know, a lot of times the guys, they just want their one little man room, and they want some dark paneling and a big TV. And, you know, it's pretty easy to please sometimes on that side. So it's nice to, I think, for most clients to be able to work with a woman architect on the residential side. So it's been great for us.
Yeah, sounds like you have an unfair advantage
We do.
over the male architects
That's fine.
out there. You know, I think our listeners can relate to this. You know, when they're going to maybe buy a new car, they start researching and they're calling around and they're doing all this research. But when it comes to the biggest investment of their life, they're, you know, building a house. There tends to be they tend to kind of be in a rush and they're willing to cut corners and you know, have you ever walked into a non-architect designed home and you just get that immediate like claustrophobic feeling?
Yeah, I think one of the things people have to remember, especially if they're looking at plans online and stuff, is you're never going to see your house from an airplane with the roof chopped off. I mean, that's just not how you live. So one thing we like to talk people through how they're walking through a space and all of those great things, and kind of talk about it and measure out spaces and tape it out on the floor. Is this going to be big enough for you? Is this what you're going to want to walk into? And I think it's really hard for people to understand, but it's one of those things. It is a huge investment. I mean, you wouldn't hand the bank teller $1 million and ask them how to invest it. You go to an investor, you know, and ask them what to do with your $1 million. You don't just hand it off to the cheapest, you know, set of plans you can buy. So that's been difficult because sometimes we do have people come in, they've seen like a floor plan online and they've brought it in, or, you know, those kind of things. We recently had someone come in and ask us to kind of fix one of those kind of situations, which is hard to come in kind of on the backside and try to change things to make it work after construction started, and then they start realizing some of these things really aren't going to work for their needs.
That's true. Yeah, to me, it just makes sense if you're going to be spending that kind of money on a house. Some people maybe are. They think that they can cut corners, and maybe they're intimidated a little bit by the upfront fee of working with an architect. But if they think long term, you know, they're going to get that investment back when they sell, because it's you know, if somebody's looking at that architect designed house versus the one down the street that was not architect designed, there's going to be some features and some feelings in that house that architect design house that they're not going to have in that non-architect design house. So they're going to get their money back at the end.
Right. I think that's an important aspect, but also they are paying for it somewhere in construction. Someone's got to figure out some of these things that if it's not completely designed, you know, you're leaving it up to your contractor to determine your insulation, your window package, your door package, what your hardwood floors are. And sometimes those are cost things that they've valued into their price in order to win the job. So it's not necessarily the product you want or the best product for your project or the situation. You might get a cheaper set of windows than I would have recommended you, or maybe insulation that is cheaper for installation purposes, but your heating and cooling bill is going to be astronomical. You know, some of those things, we like to walk you through all of those product selections so that you're not surprised in a year when all of your heating bills are, you know, off the roof. You know, you just want to make sure you're talking through all of those things and getting a inexpensive set of plans without everything specified and all of those details established. You kind of get what you pay for.
Sure. Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with Inc. Architecture.
We're located on Daniel Island. The best way to reach us is our phone number, which is 843-882-7810. You can reach me at Anita, ANITA, at Inc. architecturellc.com. And our website is also incarchitecturellc.com. And we're located at 245 Seven Farms Drive, Suite 230.
All right. Well, we have been talking with Anita King with Inc. Architecture. Thanks so much, Anita.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from the future showroom of Outdoor Concepts of Charleston, located at 463 Long Point Road, and their new showroom will be opening up the first week in September. And we're very happy to have Outdoor Concepts of Charleston as one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show, which is coming up next weekend at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. We've been visiting all of our sponsor locations over the last few weeks, and now we are talking with Patty Craven and Nick Popovich with Dig Landscape. How you doing, Patty? How you doing, Nick?
We're doing great. How about you, Nick?
Just fine. Happy to be here.
Good. Well, Nick and Patty, take a moment and tell everybody about Dig Landscape.
We're a full-service landscape design and build company. We specialize in the design aspect, and then we take it all the way through to the actual install. We can do a lot of different things. We can basically do a long-term design and stage it in for you. You can do some of it yourself, or we can do turnkey, where we talk about a garden, and a few weeks later we deliver a garden.
And remember, new construction as well as renovations, courtyard projects to an entire residential and commercial landscape. So the job can be small, it can be large, it can be in between.
Gotcha. And Dig Landscape, you folks have a very, very important role with homeowners, because you folks can help them with a plan. You can come up with a plan that can be implemented right away or over time for whatever aspects of their backyard that they want to have, right?
This has been really a banner year, I think, for DIG, because we've had so many master plans that we've designed this year. Already, the first 6 months, we've designed more than we designed all of last year, and we had a banner year last year, too. So I think more and more homeowners are realizing the importance of having a long-term plan and then having some experts that understand the plant materials, the conditions that the Charleston area brings, to play, and then actually developing their landscape just like they would the inside of the house over time, or, a lot of them do it instantly.
It seems like the majority of the work is actually the on-site construction activity, but really the process begins and is most importantly achieved at inception and during the concepts that are developed during the time the homeowner spent with Patty or myself. So that's where the real work takes place, even though the physical work, takes place down the road, whether it's in, as Patty mentioned, in stages or the entire concept is implemented.
Right. Nobody likes to do things twice, and when it comes to your backyard, you don't want to have to plant. You don't want to have certain plantings in the ground, and then they are too big for the space, and you have to dig them up and move them to a different spot. Or worse than that, if you had like pavers that were put down, and then you decided to change your backyard plan down the road, then you have to like pick up all those pavers. There's so much work that goes into your backyard. It's so physical that you don't want to have to do that twice. So you have one plan, and you plan the work and work the plan, as the cliche goes, right?
It's really kind of interesting, because the last couple of designs that we did were homeowners that actually planned to do ponds and to do pools and things like that down the road, and we were able to show them how to integrate their current existing landscaping so that when the pool was added, it was an extension of what they had already in the ground. So it is really important to think about long-term what you might want, and for us to be able to have the vision of how do we integrate it all so that every piece is holistic and every different stage that they do just enhances the overall beauty of the property.
And it's true, part of our job is, yes, we want to have a wow factor at day one, but we want the landscape to work for the client, day 1,000, day 3,000. So we do have to envision how things will develop and will mature. But yet we certainly want there to be an effective, immediate change and folks to get value for the money that they've spent with us.
Right. Well, Dig Landscape is playing a huge role at the Custom Home and Remodel Show. When you come to the show next weekend, one of the special events or features of the show will be the outdoor living experience that Dig Landscape has designed and will be working with several other companies in setting up and installing numerous finished outdoor rooms at the stadium and that people can experience. And I want you all to take a few moments to talk about that.
Okay, what we're really doing here is we're developing outdoor gardens. So if you can imagine the ultimate in your yard with outdoor fireplaces, outdoor grill gardens, outdoor pergolas, paver patios, swing sets for the kids, outdoor furniture, even an outdoor kitchen garden with herbs and outdoor fruit trees that do very well in the Charleston area, it will all be at the show next weekend, and a spa.
I mean, certainly the goal is for it to be a fun experience and an inviting experience within the confines of Johnson Haygood Stadium. Our goal is to really take the visitors to a different place and to bring ideas to life that they might imagine would work for them in their landscapes, whether it be furniture or a kitchen garden or a new swing set or a new fireplace. So many ideas incorporated into a large area that I think will make for a fun morning or afternoon for a visit.
Well, the thing that you probably experience with your customers is they need to see things. People are visual and they're not going, when they come to the outdoor living experience at the Custom Home and Remodel Show, they're not going to experience booths with samples. They're going to see finished rooms, and they could theoretically they could say, I want this kitchen, this outdoor kitchen in my own backyard, right?
Can even stop by and pick some basil from our kitchen garden if they like. But really, it's meant for to be touched, to be seen, to be enjoyed, and to be experienced.
And this year will be a little bit different in that we're going to be providing a brochure as people walk through the outdoor living experience, and it will highlight what they're going to see in each one of the different areas and give them information about where they can buy it. So when you get home and you think about things that you saw that suddenly it hits you, that you really want it, you've got a piece of information there to be able to go back to know who to call and how to get in touch with them.
And we touched on all the sentences except for maybe smell, and the barbecue demonstration from the grill master is going to be on the stage within the outdoor living experience, and so all the senses will be touched and I think make for an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, and what Nick is referring to is we're going to be doing free grilling demonstrations for the public Saturday and Sunday, August 17th and 18th at the show. And the stage and the seating is for these free grilling demonstrations is integrated into the outdoor living experience, the big displays that Dig Landscape is planning and will be installing next week. And Jack Waybor, a contestant on the Destination America Channel's Barbecue Pitmasters, will be doing free grilling demonstrations on Saturday and Sunday at the show right inside the outdoor living experience, and he'll be serving samples, and it'll be a great experience, and you're going to be hearing from him a little bit later in the show. But tell everybody how they can get in touch with Dig Landscape.
Well, you can go to our website. It is diglandscape.net, and you can contact us through that, or you can call us at 843-327-4372, or you can Google us.
Good deal. Okay. Well, we have been talking with Patty Craven and Nick Popovich with Dig Landscape. And Dig Landscape is spearheading the not just the plan, but the installation of the outdoor living experience at the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo next weekend at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And if you want more information, go to customhomeandremodelshow.com. Thanks so much, Patty and Nick.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine. And today's radio show is coming to you from Amerisips Homes. And so we're very grateful to Amerisips Homes, one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show coming up August 16th through the 18th. And now we're talking with Jack Waybor of Carolina Pitmasters Barbecue Cooking School. And Jack recently made his national television debut on Destination America Channel's Barbecue Pitmasters, which is a reality TV show about competitive barbecue cooking. And Jack is going to be doing, we're very grateful to Jack. He'll be doing free grilling demonstrations at the Custom Home and Remodel Show coming up August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And now we're talking with Jack. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great, Tim. Thanks for having me on the show. It's great to be here.
You bet. Now, Jack, just last week, July 28th, you made your national television debut on Destination America Channel's Barbecue Pitmasters. And I know there were a lot of locals that were glued to their television watching that. I know I was. Kind of talk about what the experience was like of being on a national TV show.
What a great experience it was. It was in Bixby, Oklahoma, which is suburban Tulsa. So we had to get all of our equipment over to suburban Tulsa, which was always a challenge to get everything you need on a reality show, because they don't let you know what you're going to cook. So you have to bring everything with you with the expectation that you'll just don't know what's going to be going on. Could be beef, could be pork, could be chicken. There's a whole lot of things going on. So just getting there was part of the deal. Once we got there, the rain kicked up, and it was raining sideways pretty much for the whole experience of the show, and that makes it a little more difficult because I'm an authentic barbecue cook. We cook real live, honest to God, authentic Southern barbecue, and to do that we use the offset pits that we had on the show. With that in mind and the rain and everything that was going on, well, of course, we had the challenge of dealing with the weather, because you can have your area covered on the show, but the pits weren't covered. So we were out there in the rain, tending our fires and making it happen. Did a great job. The pits performed marvelously under the conditions and under the circumstances. We made a beef tri-tip, which is a West Coast kind of a cut. In fact, it is a West Coast style of a cut. Most popular done what they call Santa Maria style. And then we cooked the country style ribs, which is we cooked a traditional Southern style where you actually cut a country style rib, and then you move on and cook it in a kind of a rib style. It's a short cook. It takes about 6 hours to do it, but we had to go ahead and bring everything we had to compete, and we certainly did.
Yeah, and so the competitors don't know in advance what they're going to be cooking, right?
Not at all. But that's I guess the fun of it. And it's the fun of it for me. I like to say that there's probably nothing on a grill or a smoker that I can't cook. I'm very well versed in all those, and the meats and everything that goes along with smoking and the spices that you have to have and the woods that go with the certain meats. So we had it all there, and we were really looking forward to opening up those coolers and seeing what was in there. And I smiled that big happy smile when I saw tri-tip and country style ribs, because I knew how to cook them both, and it was going to be a great show.
Yeah, sometimes on the show you see some of the competitors who have never cooked whatever the type of meat is that they're surprising you with. Were any of the other two competitors, were they familiar with those types of meats?
Interestingly enough, both of the competitors didn't know about tri-tip or country style ribs. The tri-tip, like I said, it's a West Coast cut. I was fortunate that I spent some time last fall on the West Coast. I spent about 6 weeks in the West Coast, and I got into a contest on the West Coast with one of the teams that I was working with out there, where we actually cooked tri-tip in a contest. So I knew what it was. I knew what the cut was. Being a meat cutter for a lot of years, of course, I knew what the cut was anyway. I just never actually worked with one until I got to the West Coast and worked with it. And it was a great show. We had a great experience. The country style ribs, the way they were presented to us, it was the whole sirloin roast. So we had to figure out how to go about cutting that roast into the country style ribs that they are. A lot of times they're called blade chops. There's a lot of different ways to call country style ribs. But the other two teams elected to cook it whole because they cooked it as a roast. I cut mine into country style ribs and cooked them that way, and it was all just a matter of textures and flavors getting together, and I got edged out right there at the end. So.
Right. What types of now you were talking about the weather, and it seems like just about every one of these episodes that I've seen, it seems like cold, wet weather on the show, and that was the case with your episode. What month did they record this?
Surprisingly enough, we went first week of May to Tulsa, and we were completely expecting it to be a beautiful spring day in Tulsa. I'd contacted some people that I knew out there, and they said that, look for it to be nice. It's going to be great weather. It's spring in Tulsa in the first week of May. It was right there, Mother's Day, just before Mother's Day weekend. So we expected it to be spring-like nice weather. The show is actually filmed in an arboretum down there, beautiful venue right next to a river, and we expected everything to be just perfect as far as weather went. And if it rained, it might rain a warm rain. But boy, I'll tell you what, overnight on Thursday night when we got into Tulsa, the temperature dropped down, and it actually got down low enough first week of May that it snowed in Tulsa while we were there.
And the judges were commenting on your grill, and I think one of the other grills about how the rain might be affecting the temperature, the internal temperature of the cooking temperature.
Yeah, our pit was a standard, what they call a Texas offset, where you have fire on one side and the fire never actually gets to the meat, and then the heat comes down a separate tube and then out the stack. So it's a traditional style of pit where the guys from Rescue Smokers right next to us had what they call an insulated pit, so the weather wasn't going to mess with them too much. It's a well put together insulated cooking environment. So Mother Nature was kind of beating on the outside of our pit, stealing the BTUs away. Where with the insulated pits, you don't have that kind of a problem because the cold can't get through the metal.
Gotcha. Now, and if folks are just joining us, we're talking with Jack Waybor of Carolina Pitmasters Barbecue Cooking School. He made his national television debut July 28th on the Destination America channel's Barbecue Pitmasters. And Jack is going to be doing some free grilling demonstrations on Saturday and Sunday, the weekend of August 16th through the 18th at the Custom Home and Remodel Show. So if you're wondering why we're talking barbecue on talking about a home show on the radio, it's because it all ties into to the Custom Home and Remodel Show, and Jack's going to be his cooking demonstrations are going to be on a regular average 4-burner grill with one side burner, much like you might have at home. That's the kind of grill I have at home. And so he's not going to be bringing in any kind of fancy, expensive equipment to show you how to grill. He's going to be doing it on equipment that you probably have in your own backyard. And so we're talking about his recent appearance on Destination America Channel's Barbecue Pitmasters. Jack, you have been a butcher by trade, and that gave you a little bit of an edge in terms of being able to trim the meats and prepare the meats that they surprised you with on Barbecue Pitmasters.
Yeah, it did. There's different densities and different cuts and different meats. I understood everything that came my way. Tri-tip is actually 3 muscles that come together on the sirloin end. and country style ribs is actually all the way up on the blade end towards the shoulder of the loin. So you have different muscles that are coming together right in those particular spots, and they have different densities and different ways that you can, techniques that you can employ to be able to cook the meats, and having a basic understanding of meat and muscle structures and what's lean and what's not lean, and it gives me a good edge to be able to, put together a great cook.
Now, I noticed that you mentioned that you were going to be using a commercial sauce for your competition, and talk about your relationship with Kraft Barbecue Sauce.
I'm the pitmaster for Kraft Barbecue Sauce. I do a lot of work in the wholesale end of that business. I go to Big Food and I teach chefs that Kraft is a great base sauce, and that you do extensions, what we call extension sauces, where you add certain things to sauces and you come up with your own product. Take, for instance, you can add apple juice. I like to add cranberry juice, and you can add a sweetener, something like maple syrup, or in my favorite is pure cane syrup, and then you can add a little bit of sugar and some salt and pepper and come up with a completely different product than what you started with. We actually use in our competition sauces a Kraft-based sauce where we change it with cranberry juice, pure cane syrup, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and salt and pepper, and we've been using it for quite some time and have been very successful with it. So while I'm out working in the Kraft scene, so to speak, I'm telling people in the food businesses that Kraft, come back to Kraft, come home to Kraft, because it's a great base sauce. It's a great place to start. Kraft has been in pantries since my grandmother. I remember it being in my grandmother's pantry when I was a kid, running around looking for the molasses cookies that she had stashed in the corner.
Well, I noticed that one of the judges, the owner of Diva Q, she commented that she loved your sauce.
Yeah, it was a great sauce. It's a local sauce that's produced. It was produced here in Charleston for quite some time. I think the co-packing has moved into Columbia. So the designer of the sauce lives here in Charleston. He's a good friend. So we decided that we were going to go ahead and take that reflection. I've been very successful with that particular sauce straight on through the line. On ribs, and since I took the sauce because it was what I use on ribs, so we were getting country style ribs, we decided to go ahead and bust the sauce open.
Good deal. Well, we're almost out of time, but I did want to ask you, the judges, they all liked your ribs. One of the main judges, the one that at the beginning of the show says "Start your fire," Myron Mixon, is that right? That's right. He said that your tri-tips, I believe, were textbook, or was he referring to the country style ribs?
No, he actually said the tri-tip was textbook, and the Diva Q said that it was probably the best representation of tri-tip that she ever tasted, and that is just you can't get a better feeling when you prepare food and you present it to someone and they truly enjoy and make those kind of comments about the food that you cook.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations for your appearance on Barbecue Pitmasters on Destination America channel, and not many people get asked to do that, so that's quite an honor that you have there, and we want everyone to come out and meet Jack and watch Jack do some free cooking demonstrations the weekend of August 16th through the 18th at the Custom Home and Remodel Show at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And Jack will be doing free cooking demonstrations on Saturday and Sunday, August 17th and 18th. And Jack, if people can see you on the internet, you've got an internet TV show, and it's very informative. They can learn a lot. Talk about that as we wrap things up.
Yeah, we do Great TV. That's greattv.com, and Great TV is specifically a grilling show. So I kind of like to call myself a live fire cooking specialist, which puts me in a broader category than just a barbecue guy, a grilling guy, open pit, Dutch oven, campfire cooking, whatever. If there's a fire, we're going to try to control it and cook over it. So Great TV is a grilling show. It's specifically designed for backyard cooks to be able to see the things that you do and to be able to make different things. We're always trying to come up with a different twist on the foods that we're cooking and show people that, grilling is a great experience. In Charleston here especially, we can grill 12 months a year. There's no time when we can't grill, so that's what we like to do.
Good deal. And that's GRATE great TV like the grate on your barbecue at home. All right, we've been talking with Jack Waybor of Carolina Pitmasters Barbecue Cooking School, and congratulations on your appearance on Destination America Channel's Barbecue Pitmasters. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Tim.
I'm talking about a home. Talking about me and you. The things we'll do. I said a home. Not talking about a one-night stand. I wanna be your man. I said a home.
You've been listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. Talking About a Home is brought to you by the publishers of Charleston Home and Design magazine and the organizers of the Charleston Home and Design Show and the Custom Home and Remodel Show. To make contact with any of the companies featured today, visit newhomecharleston.com, Charleston's online home show, and home to over 200 local home-related companies motivated to work with you.